Hi, this is Dr. Anitra Shelton-Quinn with Power Coaching 360, and I am so excited that you decided to tune in today. The segment lined up for today is awesome. It is going to bless your life tremendously. Today, we're going to be talking about the power of words. The power of words. Did you know that words have significant and substantial power to thrust you forward and literally sit you smack dab in the middle of success, or the power to snatch you back, shut you down, and silence your dreams, thus stifling your success. We're talking about the power of words. Not just any words, but the words that you speak to yourself. You know why? Do you know why words have such a powerful impact, and particularly the words that we speak to ourselves? Because you are the most powerful and influential person in your life. You are. Because you have the ability to be your biggest cheerleader or your biggest asset. Think about it. You spend more time with you than any other living being. You're with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from the time you wake up in the morning to the time that you go to bed. And even when you go to bed, guess what? Your brain is still active. You're still speaking to you. You're still entertaining thoughts that you have about you. Again, words are exceptionally powerful in our lives. They dictate where we're going, and they dictate how quickly we're going to get there. Look at this. Every action begins with a thought. So it originates here. Once it originates here, oftentimes we begin to verbalize it. If you begin to verbalize something enough and entertain it mentally enough, you'll find yourself hearing it over and over again. Now, I want to tell you a brief story which actually speaks to how I came to learn the power of words. It was during my sophomore year of college, an exciting time in my life. And there is a little bit of history to it. During junior high and high school, I'd been a cheerleader, and I had taken dance during elementary school, and in our local community had taken jazz and gymnastics, and so I had pretty much always been active in cheer and dance type of activities. So my freshman year, I tried out for the pom squad. Like most girls, I wanted to take my cheering and all of that with me. So I tried out for pom. Now, pom is a dance squad that universities and colleges have that performs alongside cheerleaders, oftentimes at basketball and football games, and also during halftime. So I tried out, made it my freshman year, super excited, again, awesome time in my life. And then sophomore year rolls around, and I get the news, like every other girl on the pom squad, that we're going to have to try out again. Even though we're veterans, we were on the squad last year, we have to try out again this year. So the competition mindset sets in, and I remember the week of tryouts quite vividly. For those of you who have ever been involved in cheer or pom, you know this is a really exciting time, an exciting event, and it's something that, really is kind of a big deal for everybody. So I remember the week of tryouts, learned the cheer, learned the dance routine, and felt very confident about it as far as knowing it. But something interesting happened to me during that week. I remember walking into this huge gymnasium, and seeing all the other girls who were trying out. And I began to look around at them, and I remember a fleeting thought. Wow, you just might not make it this year. You just might not be good enough. And from that moment on, I began to say to myself, I'm not going to make it this year. I'm just not good enough this year. And it didn't matter how I practiced and would hear my colleagues say, oh, you're awesome, you've got this, girl, you got it. I would say to myself, remember, you're your biggest cheerleader, or you can be your worst enemy. I said to myself over and over and over again, you're not going to make it. You're just not good enough. How many of you have ever said to yourself, I'm just not good enough? This is not for me. I'm not smart enough. I don't have what it takes. I'm just not good enough. If you've ever said that, then this is definitely for you. So, as I go in with the story, the day of tryouts is here. Open tryouts, again, mind you. So everybody and their mama is at the tryout, including teachers, parents, grandparents, athletes. Everybody's there. And my name is called to take the stage and demonstrate my ability. I take center stage. I look up and see the anticipation on the faces of the entire audience. Everybody's wanting to see the potential talent that will make up the Palm Squad. And there I stand. Suddenly the music comes on, roaring over the PA system. And immediately I hear in the back of my mind, you're just not good enough. You're not going to make it this year. You're just not good enough this year. I stand there as the music continues to play, literally paralyzed by the thoughts and remembrance of the words that I had said to myself over and over again. I no longer could hear the music. All I could hear was the sound of my own voice saying to me, you're not good enough. You're just not going to make it this year. With defeat on my face and disenchantment in my heart, I lower my head and I exit the stage. As I reach the exit of the building, one of my former squad members meets me there and says to me, what happened? You're so awesome. You have done this before. What happened to you? And she's standing there in sheer amazement. It was in that moment that I was reminded of the words that I spoke to myself and literally received understanding of the power of words. The power of words. My words had literally disabled me and incapacitated my ability to perform. Something that I'd been doing for years. Something that often came second nature to me. My words, in an instant, destroyed it. The power of words. You have the ability to move you forward any given day, but you also have the power to tear you down. To tear you down. And do you know that words that you speak dictate the behavior that follows? Has anybody ever been so tired and you begin to verbalize it? You say, I'm so tired, I don't know what I'm going to do. And the more you say it, the more tired you feel. And the more you say it, the more exhausted you become. And the more you say it, the more likely you are to feel like you want to lie down and go to sleep. Because you verbalize it, so the feeling becomes more intense. And your behaviors line up with the words that you speak. Your behaviors oftentimes correspond with the words that you speak. We have to be careful that what we are saying, the words that we're utilizing to describe us, to speak to us, are words that build us and not tear us down. As a psychologist, I've talked to many women, children, teenagers, people in general. And there's often a commonality amongst those who are dealing with self-esteem issues. And it is that negative self-talk, self-discouragement, self-belittlement, self-abuse. I'm so fat. I'm so ugly. I'm disgusting. I'm never going to amount to anything. I'm always broke. Those types of things. I don't like my body. I'm not worthy. I don't deserve it. When we say those things, we are tearing down our motivation, destroying our lifeline to succeed. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. When you negatively speak to you, you're abusing you. You're abusing you. You're stifling your success. Words are so powerful. And do you know that because you are the most influential person that you will ever meet, because of that factor alone, you have the power to build you or destroy you. No matter what anyone else says, if you're saying it to yourself, that has the most credibility. That has the most credibility. Oftentimes people compare themselves to other people and then begin to belittle themselves because they don't see in themselves what they see in another person. And what you're doing is you are belittling you. You are disabling you. We've got to learn how to start speaking life, speaking positively to ourselves, speaking to ourselves what we want to see, not what we think we see. Speak what you want. Don't speak something over your life that you don't want to see the manifestation of. Don't speak something. I didn't want to see the manifestation of not being called back to be a member of the Palm Squad. But because I spoke it to myself, that's exactly what I had. You have what you say. You have what you say. You have what you say. Let me tell you something. The reason why you know that your name is what it is because it's been spoken to you over and over and over and over again. Even if you're in a huge arena with 10 billion people and your first name is called, you're going to look around like you are the only one in the world with that name. Why? Because it's been spoken to you so many times in your life, it now has become who you are. That name has become your existence. That name has become your existence. That name. The same way that your name can become your existence. And for many of us it has. The words that you speak to yourself can also become the way that you define yourself. Become the way that you, on a regular basis, it becomes the norm for how you respond to you. It becomes the norm. And again, as I said before, remember, what you begin to speak to you, your behaviors line up with that. Okay? So, for example, if you are going to a job every day and you're saying, this job, I just can't do this. I can't do this. I just can't do this. This is just not I'm just no good. I'm worthless. If you're saying that, then you will oftentimes find yourself making mistakes and doing things that get you that are really counterproductive for you on the job, because you're constantly speaking that. And so your behaviors line up with it. Your motivation lines up with it. The more you say that you can't do it, you won't want to do it. A marriage. I can't do this. This marriage is not going to work. I'm not a good wife. I'm not a good husband. I'm not a good mother. The more you say those things, the more they will become your reality. So be careful what you speak, because again, words are exceedingly powerful. Exceedingly powerful. I'm sure most of you are aware of the little story, The Little Engine That Could. And that little engine, though he had a most difficult task ahead of him, he continued to say as he went up that steep hill, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And he didn't stop. He kept pushing, he kept going, he kept pushing, he kept going, and he kept speaking positively to himself. And as he did that, he was able to accomplish that goal. He was able to ascertain that dream, that desire. What are you saying to yourself today? What are you speaking? Are you cheering yourself forward, or are you tearing yourself down? What are you saying to you? What are you saying to do? What are you going to say to you in this year to move you forward? What are you going to say? I'll tell you what you need to say. I am successful. I can achieve this goal. I am a good wife. I am a good mother. I am a good father. I am a successful entrepreneur. Whatever it is that you want, I am financially stable. I am debt-free. I make good choices. I'm a good steward of the things that I have. You have got to start speaking positively to yourself. And then what happens is you begin to live the life that you speak about. And you begin to see it manifested every day in the things that you do. I remember when I was working on my doctoral degree and writing my dissertation, and it was definitely a huge challenge because I was also working a full-time job. And, you know, it was almost like I was always tired when I get home from work, working as a psychologist in schools. I was very tired and oftentimes brought work home. And I remember one day just a light bulb went off. And I said, you know, I've got to start speaking this over my life. I've got to start declaring it for myself. I am Dr. Shelton-Quinn. I can do this. I was built for this. I can do it. I am successful. And the more I said it, the more intense my desire became to complete every single little task, to write every single page of that 200-page document, and then do the multiple umpteen revisions over and over and over again. Because I said it to myself. And the more you say it, you begin to embrace it. And the more you embrace it, you then begin to adopt it. Once you adopt it, it becomes a part of your belief system. Hear what I'm saying? You speak it. The more you speak it, you will begin to embrace it. Once you embrace it, you will begin to say it more and more, and then you will adopt it as a part of your belief system. And once it becomes a part of your belief system, do you know what happens? Your behaviors correspond to that and even become more intensified. Even more intensified. Now, if you are speaking negatively, what happens? The same process occurs. The same process. You speak it, you begin to embrace it. You embrace it, then you adopt it. Once you adopt it, it becomes a part of your belief system about yourself. I'm ugly. Part of your belief system because you've said it over and over again. You have embraced it. You have adopted it. And now your behaviors line up with that. So you walk around with your head down all day. You're depressed. You feel unattractive. You feel that you're not worth interaction with other people. You begin to stay inside and not go to events and not go to family interactions and things like that. So you have to be careful what you say to yourself, because then if you're saying it, you'll find yourself living it. I remember once talking to a group of people, doing a speak, and it was a very difficult time in this group's life. It was at a particular institution, and I was doing an encouragement speak, motivational speak, and I remember saying to them, you have what you say. If you say it, get ready. If you don't want it, don't speak it. If you don't want it, don't speak it. So what are you saying, Dr. Shelton-Quinn? What I'm saying is it's time for change. You've got to start speaking positively. Some things you can do. If you don't have a notepad or journal, please jot these things down on a piece of paper. You want to start saying things like, I am successful. This is my year. I will achieve my goals. I will attain my dreams. I am somebody. I am valuable. I am valuable. I can make good choices. I am making good choices. You've got to start speaking that. Write it down on sticky notes. Put them all over your car. Put them on your refrigerator as reminders to speak it. As reminders to speak it. And the more you speak it, you'll find yourself even saying it in your sleep. You'll find yourself even just randomly saying it when things are going bad and when things are good. You can even pre-record yourself saying these things. As a podcast, there are all types of audio apps. Record yourself saying these things and play it to yourself. Remember, you have the power beyond anyone else in your life to impact where you're going and how you're going to get there and how quickly you're going to get there. Because your words dictate your path. They do. They do. Your words have significant and substantial power to build you or to tear you apart. The power of words. I'm reminded of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as we go through this segment, because I believe that during his life, as he fought for equality, as he sat in many sit-ins and just did all these horrific actions, I believe that there were times that he was tired. I believe there were times that he may have even wanted to give up. But I also believe that he became his biggest cheerleader. I believe that there were times that he spoke to himself and said, I can do this. I was built for this. I can do this. I can do it. I can do it. I believe that he said that I've got to do it. It's going to happen. Because he said in one of his speeches, he said one day. So that means that he had to be speaking that one day what he saw would happen. That's an example for all of us. And now because of him speaking life to what he believes, speaking life to his dream, we now live his dream. What are you going to speak in this year? What are you going to do this year to move you forward and launch you into the successful, abundant, meaningful life that you were designed to live? What are you going to do? I'm excited about your future. I touch and agree with you right now for whatever you're believing for, whatever you're working for. I touch and agree with you and partner with you that it is going to come to pass in your life. You are successful. This is your year. You will achieve everything that your heart sets out to do this year. In 2014, get ready, get ready, get ready. Speak those positive words, and I promise you, you will see a change in your life. I am so very proud of you, and I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Dr. Anitra Shelton-Quinn with Power Coaching 360.